above too. So there is your selections. A little bit more of the, I guess, important but rather boring part. This is where it starts to break down the actual building, the warranties that are required by us as a builder, what the tolerances are as far as level straight plumb. It does talk about the concrete cracks that you talked about. It'll list 1 year stuff, and then also list the structural components that are something that go beyond. So like if a roof truss were to snap for some reason, what happens in those instances. But that is the back part of this, is all part of the various components of the warranties and how you would get a hold of someone after the first year. And it's not light reading, but it does do a pretty good job of line by line, item by item. It'll list what happens if you have drywall cracks, what happens if you, and what the builder's responsibility is for that.
You don't happen to have an electronic copy of that you could email?
If you,
I can scan it too.
I'm gonna take the email, because I might be able to send her a copy of this, but this is also not a Happy Homes thing. If there was any research done on residential construction performance guidelines, this is a national guideline of every building in Iowa. So
Okay.
Okay, so she could get that
Oh,
offline
yeah.
just by going to this.
the Greenland guys are having to follow the same rules as we are.
Okay,
We just
That way she
we
has
just
that
have given
information.
a
Thank
hard
you.
copy with this closing binder.
okay, thank you.
So there's way more stuff in here than we want to take the time, because I know you guys want to walk around and open and close your drawers. And
Is that the end of this? Okay.
the very back part of this is going to talk about cabinets and structural components of the cabinets. It'll talk about vacuum cleaners and that sort of thing for in the home. But that's,
What do you mean vacuum cleaners?
so
in the home?
they're actual parts of this. Our flooring companies have put together
Specific vacuums?
the ones to avoid. And I guess
Okay.
the first one here are Quaker windows. It talks about how to raise and lower, how to clean the tracks out of your the tracks of your window and your sliding glass doors. Your windows are not Quaker, they're Lindsay, but the same exact thing happens in every slider window that you could ever buy. So that's why we put them in here.
Okay, should we write Lindsay on there so that,
Oh, we know, we
So
remember,
Christy will know.
because Christy knew when I came in.
Oh, she
because
did
I
know.
said something about the windows, but they had it spelled it wrong.
oh,
It's
Okay.
my name.
so sure.
They're made in Wisconsin. I mean, we buy hundreds of them a month. So yeah, but that's the back part of all this stuff. Talks about your single hung, double hung windows, the trim work that's on here. Laminate floor care. Basically with these laminate floors, you can literally clean them with just about anything except for the wet mop. They are really, really good as far as the waterproofing goes, but you can't just dump 5 gallons of water and mop it over the way. You can't wet mop these things. The subfloor underneath here does not like being wet. So I would tell you avoid the steamer type cleaners if you have a Swiffer of any kind. It works really, really well. Very durable finish. I have 2 labs that live on laminate floors. It's really hard to scratch the stuff. It's good stuff.
What's the brand you use?
I would have
No.
to
Be
look
in
up.
that
We
sheet.
use a ton of different ones.
Okay, that's
Right
fine.
here, right?
I just
It's
wanna
in your
know for my
selection
own.
sheets. Yep.
In here.
The all of the flooring stuff comes from a company called ProSource. They're in Urbandale, and we use, it's not just one brand, but it is, and we may even be able to show you a box. Is there a box in the closet down there?
Oh, that's okay.
Not a box down there, we have tiles, but not.
Okay. So I don't know what exact brand this is, because we use about a dozen different ones,
Okay. Right there.
but it is a floating floor, and it'll list colors. So it's very hard to do the wrong thing with the floors we put in here. The one thing that I'm going to tell you though is please don't wet mop them. That's about the only real thing that you can screw up. If there's a pet that's going to live here under where the water bowl is, where it would constantly get wet, put a towel. But spilling a cup of water on this floor is not a problem. Not a problem at all. Okay, so I guess the next part of this thing is obviously we're here to